Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Rafi at CC, and if it's your first time stopping by, please make sure you subscribe and click on that notification bell so if I do tend to upload new videos, you get to see it first. So today we're here with
Mariam.
Leah. So I'm here with two of my sisters before we come over to you guys to discuss something really interesting, and sometimes it could be a bit tricky. It could be one of them ones you could get in trouble for it, but we thought we got something we can share or talk about. So you want us, what are we talking about, guys? Let them know.
Cancel culture. So
for people that don't know what that is, what are you guys gonna say? Okay, I feel like I'm always interviewing, yeah, but it's okay. It's okay.
No, it's your channel.
It's So for people that don't understand it, like obviously, because people think cancel culture, what's that? What do you guys reckon that? Like, what would you want to say to them?
It's mainly when society would brand someone or deem someone's career tarnished, or tarnish someone's career because of something they've done wrong, or something that's brought up, that came up in light, that was done in the past.
Yeah.
And it just brands them for the rest of their career in their life, and it literally, as the word says it, cancels them out. Yeah, so you can't really carry on with your daily antics or...
So I feel like it's just not... I don't know, it sounds... So it could be, for what I do know, it could be a bit of everything. What you've done in the past that's really bad, or has it got to relate to culture? Because obviously the word culture, if you're thinking, oh, it's related to culture or been this and been that. So it's not really related to culture, it's just literally
it's
done.
Just the
but I'm thinking,
cancelling people.
Cancelling people. So that's what it is. So people will be thinking, what culture is it related to? It's really not that. It's just like you get cancelled for doing something you've done. So it's literally like what you've done in the past, it's got thrown back at your face in whatever year it turns around, basically.
And just to reiterate this as well, this is for people that are in the limelight.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so. People like oh yeah, we're in the limelight. We got loads of light. I was gonna people like me, but you know, we're saying what we say. Yeah, people in the limelight. Obviously, when you're tweeting and you're doing stuff, and you're just like, people can see what you're doing, and later on, people will be like, yeah, what you were doing was really wrong, and they call you out for it. So that's what it is. But why do you think is like? Because what people say is people do grow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you tend to like do so. Everyone's done some silly stuff. Like what I've done at 16, I wouldn't do it now. Okay. But I still feel like it depends how deep what you've done in the past is. Because people just tend to use age, but I don't think that should be a thing. Because come on, at 16, you still have people guiding you, and they do know what you're doing is wrong. 100%. So I bet I'm just assuming like you get people tell you what you're doing is wrong, and you just feel like or maybe.
But this is the thing though. There's a difference between calling somebody out and just cancelling them completely, and, you know, causing them to be irrelevant. And with the cancel culture, it's a bit bigger than just...
I feel like if you get called out, you get cancelled. Well, most people that get called out, they get cancelled.
Some people come from it. Some people have been able to come from it.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole stigma that comes behind it with cancelling somebody. Like, it's people's fans, because obviously it is down to the fans that...
Yeah, that's so true.
It comes to fans turn against you, and it just diminishes your whole
fans are really, they're strong, basically. They support, when you're doing good things, they support you, and when you're doing bad things, you get it back as well. So it's like a bit of both. But I think for me, I think if you're doing stuff now, but what if at that moment that you done it, it was right? Like if it was something that was trending and you just jumped on it. So just because it was right then, and now obviously, let's say 2014, the thing was right, everyone was jumping on it, and 2020 is wrong, and people start calling you out for it. Because I feel like things like this, they're trending, everyone jumps at a certain time, and everyone gets called out. But it depends I think it depends how strong your fan base is as well. That's one thing. Because some people, you could get dragged for the same thing I got dragged for. It might affect you more than it might affect me, or if that makes sense. So I think it depends with your fan base, whoever you're influencing as well. So you gotta stay positive. But some people own up to it, some people find excuses. So would you own up to it, or you'd be like, oh, because of your age, that's why you couldn't?
No, 100% own up to it. I don't really think... Actually, I'm not able to speak.
What do you mean? Go on.
No.
Go on.
I would own up to it. If it's something I know for sure it's wrong.
Yeah.
And at the time, I wasn't conscious of, you know, how wrong it was. I would definitely. If I've been called out for it, it would be something personally, me, it would be something I would address already before
that.
You know, because once it gets out in the limelight, it's like as if it's a secret that's been revealed. So,
but I feel like stuff like that, people don't really, until you get called out, you don't really see it as it being wrong.
Okay,
do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't see it being wrong because obviously you're just at the time or whatever, you're just having fun and you're just typing or whatever you're doing. We're just gonna put it basically around social media. So I'm gonna say this because obviously I know this is like quite being black or being like cancel. I don't want to like say something silly and I'm getting dragged for it, so I'm going to rephrase that. I'm going to rephrase that so that you remember back in the days people be like, oh, being black or being African. Okay, I'll take that back. Being African is not like, it's not a thing people embrace in the UK.
Yeah, 100%.
So now everyone is jumping on the trend and all of that. With that, I can't relate to it. So with you guys, obviously you guys are, I didn't grow up here, so that was fine. That was around my African people, so.
Well, I didn't grow up here either, but like when I came here, it wasn't a case of like I couldn't tell people I'm African. Like, I own up to. It's not a case where I was like ashamed of being African.
Or,
Like,
did you get drag or
no,
not drag?
I didn't get dragged for being African. I feel like by the time I was here, it was a bit like I think everyone sort of understand a bit of, you know, what it's like being African, but I don't think it was a case where I have to like tell people or lie to people that, oh, I'm not African, like, I'm this, like, I'm Jamaican, or I'm like,
people tend to bake that.
Yeah, people tend to say they're Jamaican rather than like,
I don't know what
African,
it is, but
it wasn't the case. It wasn't like that for
like
me.
that.
So it was a case. So I didn't kind of like experience what it's like to lie about like your background or like your culture or anything like that.
Yeah, for me as well, like obviously I grew up with my African people. I'm proud. You'd be like, you sound Nigerian, that's what I'm Nigerian. So it's never really a thing. I can't relate to that. So for you, obviously you went through or like nursery, all of that. Not nursery, maybe nursery, don't know.
Nursery.
But yeah, you literally just spend like all your teenage you grew up here basically. So why was that for you? Did you feel like you were struggling to blend in?
No, it's not that I was struggling to blend in. It's just that, you know, kids are mean. Kids can be very mean, and
they get it from whoever's around them though, just saying.
Yeah, it's, you know, they're literally sponges, they absorb whatever, but it was a thing where being African was used as like a joke or used as like a way to hurt people.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a thing where I was ashamed to be African, 100% no, but it was a thing where other people of other cultures would use that as like a negative sort of connotation. So
it's just really like, it's still weird, like 2020, like as African, as black, we're still trying to make a statement, like to prove people this is who we are. It's just long. It is annoying though, where you have to be like
it's better now than back in the days, because now I feel like a lot of people claim to be African, even like celebrities that you didn't even know.
That's so true. Everyone is going back to their country to collect.
But you guys need to realize as well, we're actually spearing way from the actual subject.
It's alright.
But what I was trying to say is just that with the UK, I feel like back in the day, the US, even still today, is heavily influenced by it. And obviously with African Americans, they don't really know their roots as well.
True, that's so true, yeah.
So it was a case of
they're just finding themselves.
Yeah, basically. They're just finding themselves now, and us that knew ourselves. You know, unfortunately, it's either you embraced it or people were negative in regards to it. So, you know, so. But if we're going back to the question itself, whether or not we think cancel culture is right.
I just feel
like what are we to cancel people though?
It's true.
People
but then
make
again,
mistakes.
at the same time, people do make mistakes,
and
but they
grow.
need to understand that. People grow, but you need to understand as an individual, when you put yourself out there, you have to be very careful and particular about what you do, what you say.
Exactly.
Because when it comes back to you, it's just a whole mess, really.
But I just feel like people shouldn't really get dragged off what's been said in the past, because that's in the past. That was like how many years ago?
Well, if it's so mean,
if it's so mean, then yeah, sure.
You can get dragged, but we're praying you come back from it.
And then they just have to own up to it, say, okay, right, like I put my hands up, I said what I said with my chest,
and don't say it again.
And don't say it again. Just, you know, like people make mistakes, but one mistake shouldn't make you like, they shouldn't change your life in the way where they make your life like miserable, like people are threatening each other, I'm gonna kill you, like you're bad, you're this and that. Like, there's ways where people can go about it rather than just, you know, throwing out threats and stuff like that. You know,
people online are so mean, like, trust me, when you put yourself out there, things like this do tend to come. So it's just something you gotta be prepared for mentally, and just everything, physically, everything, you gotta be prepared for it, trust me, because people are so mean. and they don't really care. Like, they don't want to think,
they're sitting behind the screen, really.
They don't want to think,
So
what's this person gonna
repercussions.
think if I'm typing?
No.
Like, they're not gonna think that. They're gonna come for you regardless. It's just the way you influence people in a like positive way, and people be like, I want to be like that girl. That's the same thing. They're feeling like, you know what, we hate you. This is what we're gonna do to you to bring you down. But for me, do you think people like that are naive to, like, obviously tweeting all this stuff from back in the days? Like, did they ever think, oh, this is gonna blow up? At one point, I'd be like, oh, it's so wrong.
No, of course
Did you
not.
think?
Obviously, at that time, they're not
They're
really
not thinking.
Like, they don't need... Like, obviously, at that time, no one knows where they're going to be in the next 5-10 years. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like,
So you knew, so you thought, what, do you guys think they knew it was wrong, or it was just, I feel like they just feel like it was the cool thing at the moment.
It's
and
different for every people,
yeah,
I think,
true.
and the individual themselves. So
obviously, you know what, like, when you're made to do something, okay, you
Yeah.
feel like you have to do it as well. So it might be some sort of influence in a way, like, oh,
True.
people are like doing this, I want to do it as well. So it could be that kind of situation as well. But
yeah.
At the end of the day, like, you're your own person, so you shouldn't let other people influence
you.
what you should say and what not to say.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? So-
You can try to be someone, but not like, oh yeah, I want to have everything. I want to do what that person is doing. And I think for people as well, they know it's wrong, but people just want to trend. They just jump on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying this. Like, some people jump on the, like, obviously they call it, what's that word? Clout chasing. I don't know what. Clout chasing. Yeah. People know it's wrong, or maybe in their head they had an inkling like, oh yeah, this might be wrong, but they still want to do it just because they want to be out there. I don't know, this might sound, but people do that, like, we do know this, people just do it just because they know that's what's trending, and obviously if they do something, if they jump in it, they're going to trend, and they just want to blow it from there.
At the age of 10 or so, you should know what's right and what's wrong. Like,
I don't...
teach it in schools and stuff like that, so you should know what's right and what's you
well,
should know from right from wrong,
10,
regardless of, you know. But at the age of 10,
know.
like, if you grow up in, like, in a strict African background or whatever.
Yep, you know.
Like,
10 is even too late. 5.
Not even 5, but they should know, like, what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, it's not a case of where.
I think it's a
you
good
just got
thing as
in
well. Yeah, having people around you that knows about these things, and they know, like, it's just surrounding yourself with, like,
secure,
good people, and
that
people,
positive.
people that can actually hold you down and be like, you know what you're doing is wrong. Because the way, so sometimes the way people have been brought up in this country, that you can just do whatever you want.
Oh, especially when you're at the top.
Exactly, you can literally just do what you want.
It will just feed into your ego, feed into your
Exactly.
ego.
But when you have people behind you and they actually push you and they grind, when you're doing something wrong, they pull you back and be like, you know what, child, what you're doing right now is wrong. I think that support system is really, really, people, they can listen to you, you can listen to them. That's the kind of people you need to have around you. But coming back to the thing, cancel culture, cancel, whatever that is. Who are we to cancel people? People make mistakes, people do grow and they learn.
And
so
I don't think anyone has the right to, like, call out people for what they said in the past. Like,
you can get called out.
I mean, you can get called out, but
of
at the end
course,
of
because that's how people learn.
It's not going to change the fact that, you know, you've already said it's already on the internet.
Yeah, it's on the internet, but they already learn.
It's just not holding it against the person for the rest of their life.
Yeah. And people do learn, they know not to do that, or when they have other people around them, they can, little ones, because you have little ones growing, looking up for them. Exactly. So they can learn from it as well, and they can actually tell people, you know, I've done this, I know what happened to me, so I would not advise you to go down that route. So I think it's a good thing they're getting called out for it. It's just you staying strong and obviously accept it, say it with you, like, just say, yeah, you done it. It's just you working your way around and bouncing back. I think that's what you need to do as a person. So
it's all character build, I think, personally.
Yeah.
If you have to go through something like that, it's all
it's
at the end of it, you ideally you would come out a better person and you would learn from it.
Of course,
if you've learned something from it, then you know that is it. But like you said, who are we to cancel?
But I feel like people just say cancel, but you actually don't get cancelled. Like, it could affect you a little bit, but not like,
but not as, you know,
not as big as the way internet posts
it. It depends on the individual, I think, and like you said, how strong that fan base is. You know, if you've been very, very genuine and people can see that was just a mistake in the past, then I think you'd be able to bounce back from it. But if you're a grown individual and you say something that's really out of order, about
place,
character, it's just absolutely wrong, then you gotta take a good look at yourself,
But yeah, I think we're just gonna wrap it up from there. It's been amazing having you girls around and coming to talk about this. It's really important, and obviously we are doing this, or we've done this. We're not looking to upset anyone, or obviously we didn't call anyone out. We're just talking in general. And if you feel like cancel culture is right or wrong, make sure you guys leave all your comment below. We do want to know what you guys are thinking as well, because you can educate us. Like, we can educate each other. We can learn one or two things. So make sure you guys leave your comment below. Make sure you click on that, and I'm gonna say it again. I know. Make sure you click on that subscribe button and notification bell. And thank you so much for joining me, girls. Joining me. My goodness. Oh my word. Anyways, on to next time. No, take 10. On to next time. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.